And yeah, yeah, still. I mean, you play Smash, right? Or no? Yeah. I'm telling you, I get my ass whipped by people, and they just be like, "What the fuck? How come?" And it's like all this stuff that I didn't, that I'm not doing. I'm not using any mix-ups. I'm not like when I get to the ledge, I'm recovering the same way every time. Like I'll go down and then teleport recovery to it, and then the person will like edge guard it and then kick me out, like meteor smash me basically, whatever that thing is called basically. Um, and then characters like Bayonetta, I didn't realize were so hard because I used her and I'm like, this character is quite technical. I mean, her recovery is not like just you up B, like you gotta up B, mid air jump, up B again, and you have and to get the third one, you have to do it like on frame one. So it is not easy to do at all. It is very hard, and it's stuff like that that I'm not thinking about when I play the game. And I get away with it by playing random people. If like say someone has a Switch, I play them or whatever. I get away with it there, but like I can't get away with it if I'm online and it's like really competitive. Like I can't. I'm gonna die. Like it's one of those things where it's like you could play the character, but you have to know what they do. And with fighting games, there isn't like some list that says this character is the hardest. This one is it. The hardest character to be the first person that the icon goes to. Like the game goes on Mario, but it's like he could be the hardest character. I mean, I don't think he is, seeing how basic he plays. I don't think that he is, but I never thought like Peach is one of the hardest characters, probably the hardest because of her cancels, and you have to master the float stuff, which I never would think about, because she doesn't look like a hard character. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't look like it, but hard characters in shapes. Huh? Yeah, but hard characters come in shapes and sizes. It'd be the same thing with Tekken. Um, like my characters happen to be pretty easy. It's like one character where like she's hard, but not really. Like I don't really use her to her like fullest potential. Like it'd be characters like that where like you can get away with winning with them. Like even though they're like classified as a hard character, you can get away with not learning every single thing about them. Like you could just use most or half of their stuff. But some characters you have to learn everything because they have very strict weaknesses. Like I don't like characters that have strict weaknesses like that. That are not easy to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like stuff like that. Characters like that turn me off. So, but I was happy Kazuya got in. I mean, I don't play Kazuya, so I'm not happy that like he's in because I play him. But I'm happy that he's in because he's a Tekken character and I play Tekken. So people finally know. Well, well, he's actually one of the hardest characters in the game, so that's the funny part about that. Because usually with games they usually promote the easy characters, but like he's like one of the hardest. In fact, I think it's like three characters that you'll see commonly: Heihachi, uh, Kazuya, and then Shin Kazama. They're all like related to each other by blood, but like they're usually on the cover of like a lot of stuff. But they're like the hardest characters in the game. But the characters you really want to play, if you were to play Tekken, I don't know if you've ever wanted to play Tekken, but do you? I mean, Tekken is it's not super hard to play. It's just when you, because for me, I played it for like years, so like At least I'd say at least 5 years I played it. So I understand. I've been able to learn. I've been able to learn successfully. At the same time, I mean, from that perspective of like a new player coming in, you're gonna be overwhelmed because you're gonna see all those moves and you're gonna be like, why do I need to use this? And um, some moves have like plus unblocked. Therefore, like a 12 frame move ends up being like like say a move is like plus 4 on block, right? And it's like 12 frames. Yeah, so the move that's plus on block ends up if the person presses a button, they're gonna get counter hit and they're gonna get like in trouble, basically, because they're gonna take damage for trying to hit you, because you could easily just hit them right after it. So that's the thing about that. So say a move is like plus 4. Like you did like a move that was like plus and block, and then you do a move after that's 12 frames. That 12 frame move ends up being frame 8 now, technically, because you have advantage on block, and it's like your moves basically turn to 8 frame moves. So yeah, only for that time. I mean, not plus and block forever, but like the one time. That's what makes it different from Smash. And then it's a lot more movement based too. Like the movement, it's a lot slower. Cause I don't know if you saw the presentation, but he talked about that where like the movement's slower in Tekken, which it is, a lot slower. So yeah, so I mean the character I played in Smash was Zelda, but I've always known she wasn't very good. She always was kind of slow. Zelda, I'm talking about. Yeah, she was always kind of slow. Like I loved like her design and how she looked, but the thing is, I never really seen her in the games. Like she was always so quiet, and I didn't like that about her character either. In Smash, she was just so quiet, and in Ultimate, they made her a lot more brighter. But they changed like her character. Like she looks different. Like it doesn't even look like it's Zelda anymore, from my perspective. No, the one they well, I mean, I looked it up. Her design is not based directly off Breath of the Wild. It's based off like 2 games into one. Um, but yeah, the Smash Zelda looks, she looks like, a fun, like she looks like she's energetic, and it's like I didn't see that before with the past games, because the past games it was like, not only was Zelda a bad character, like she didn't even have like that many voice clips, and she looked so emotionless. I'm like, this princess does not look a good character. I mean, she doesn't look like somebody that like stands for anything. Like I like when characters have personality, I don't like when they're so monotone. Yeah, I wouldn't really be into him that much. I don't really find him interesting. He's just mute. He doesn't say anything, ever. Yeah, well, he doesn't connect with me enough. I'm like, you better say something. Yeah, well, sadly for him, I'm not into characters like that. I like my characters more direct, honestly. I'm not really into like, I mean, unless they make it so that, it's accessible to me and I enjoy it and it's, unique, I probably wouldn't be into it. Usually if the character talks, I like it when characters talk cuz I love voice acting. So, it's like I like when characters talk. So when characters don't say anything and all they do is like grunt, it could be a little boring and I probably get turned off from them. Like that's why I like Bayonetta so much, cuz she actually speaks. And I just love her lines because it's so much personality in them. If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mom. I can't really do it, but you get it. You get the point. Are you in the room? Oh, okay. I was at my house. I had my car, so oh, I still have the same costume last time, so I ain't changed nothing. um. Coming out again. They're having a Switch version? Oh. Um. They probably wouldn't. They probably feel like it's too extreme, which would be hypocritical because it's like you have Bayonetta on there, so it's like, why would you even think that? And then it's like GTA is just too popular to not have it on the Switch. I feel like, because I mean they could have Minecraft, they should have everything, huh? Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as far as my life has been, because I'm sure you probably would like to, know. Yeah. I mean, I've just been working on the album and stuff, and coming up with new sounds, and I'm just happy I met that producer. Because that producer was, like, so cool. So, like, I got lucky. I got lucky because if it wasn't for my Walmart job, because I hate I got fired from it, but I have a producer here that was able to help me envision. It wasn't perfectly envisioned in my mind, the way the songs came out, but I was happy, I still got it out because in a way, I liked what was there anyway. Like, there was a song called No More Games that I have on there. It's basically based off of like Tekken, me playing Tekken. So it goes like one of the verses, I think it might be verse 2. No more giving up, no more losing to a scrub. If I let him win, then he will run. Something like that. So it's kind of like half rap, but not really. I guess it's like I'm just using the low notes, so it's like easier to do. It sounds like it's rap, but it's not really. And then the chorus is, huh? No, not. I wouldn't say Drake. Cause Drake, it's like, it sounds like you'd be more talking. So it's like singing, but it's like telling the story of like don't fuck with me, kind of like that. But I really love the second verse though, like, no more giving up, no more losing to a scrub. If I let him win, then he will run. This match will be the last one. I should, you know what I should do? I should do like Genius interviews where I'm like, yeah, this is why I wrote this lyric. I think it would give it more, yeah, where I'm like singing the lyrics and I talk about what they mean. So there's that. But that one, I kind of just freestyled it. Kinda, like I took time to write it, but I freestyled a little bit. Like I just thought of like, what can I say that's like gonna be good, and then add it together, and then yeah, there's that. So it was a fun song to make. The chorus is just my favorite part of it. Like I can't get it out of my head. Like I don't know if you saw my stories earlier, but I did sing the chorus. Yeah, you heard the studio version. I just did it live a little bit, but I just love belting on it because it was really fun. Because initially it was just gonna be like no more games, no more games, and it would be that the whole time, and it didn't have the energy to it. That's why when you do vocals like that, it has to have energy. You have to add things to it. Like when I'm in the studio, I don't just do like one full vocal take. Like I don't just sing anything straight up. I have to add stuff to it to make it more fun. Because then you just hear the music and you're like, this is boring. But yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the chorus or the verses? Yeah. Yeah, the chorus is like very like anthemic and layered. It's kind of big. I'm just happy they did it though, cause like I was expecting it to sound a lot more 80s synth pop kind of like 8-bit, not 80s synth pop, but like more 8-bit, experimental, but it ended up being a lot more electro pop, um, and kind of rock like. Because I had a lot of like rock stuff for the album. I was trying to make it more EDM, but the project ended up being a bit more rock, so I'm trying to get more EDM tracks on there so that it could sound, I guess, a little more like I envisioned. Because, I mean, let's be honest, those sounds for a black artist are quite rare nowadays. Like, white people dominate those genres all the time. No, well, that too, but also electronic genres and all that, they don't really, there's not many black artists that do them consistently. They kind of just do them for like either one era or, you know, it's done to follow a trend, like how Chris Brown and Usher did their albums. Like they did dance pop songs, but they just followed trends on it, and it was just very generic. Which is no shade to them. I'm not dragging them or nothing, because, you know, I also don't want to do that as an artist. I don't want to drag anybody for what they do, because I used to do that on my shit all the time. I talk shit about Chris Brown being so boring, and it's like, oh, and then my ex-best friend would like message me and be like, "You're such a hater. You're such a hater." And I'm like, I'm not hating. I'm just saying the truth. Y'all will literally follow these people and then say they're like so amazing. I mean, it's my opinion. It's not the truth, but you know, let's be honest. There's so many. What I mean, what kind of is the truth though is that there's so many people out there that won't ever have a chance to be as popular as they are, and they get to just write anything, like talk about sex all the time, but they call the females out on it all the time. But then when the guys do it, it's like we don't say nothing. Like that's how that be. That's what's kind of like annoying about that. But it's nothing against them as artists. I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's their fault. Their record label hypes them up and is like, you know, y'all write this stuff and put this on the record. You know, that's how they do it. They don't really like do it. You know, like they have the advantage of not having to put all the effort in because they have several writers that will help them. That's the thing about that. Whereas me, you know, if I write something, I have to, you know, oh, this is a nice jump. If I write something, I have to literally make sure it's right on my own. Because I don't have a bunch of writers to help me. I don't. I only have myself. I mean, I have my producer, but, I mean, my producer, I don't really feel like, is going to 100%, you know, write the way I would. Because I'd say I write pretty decently on my own. But it's good to have writers, but also, you know, don't lose sight of, like, you know, your personality in it. Because I know how I write. I mean, I don't really follow one structure all the time. I kind of just do either chorus first or verses first. I mean, there wasn't a time I did bridge first, but I did, well, one of the songs I did verses first, and another one I did chorus first. And I think for No More Games, I think I did that first. Yeah, I did the chorus first for that one, so yeah. So, it's a mix of styles I use to do it, and yeah. But yeah, the genre of the album is like basically, I'm not gonna say probably EDM anymore, maybe more like electronic and then rock, I guess, to be a little more general. Because it's like a mix of styles on there. And I wanted to have a drum and bass type song, but I don't know, the album is sounding kind of aggressive or kind of like not so mellow at the moment. So it's like, I don't know if it would ever fit, if it would fit that. Because I want to stretch it out to, basically, well, the album title is Isolation, so it's about, you know, being depressed, you know, alone, but also finding power in being alone. Because if you look at the definition of isolation, it will tell you, you know, basically being, like, secluded, like, just being alone, and, you know, basically, you know, the sad version of that. But it could also be standing, you know, alone in something. Like, kind of like isolated. So, it could mean that too. So that's kind of why some of the songs are kind of like upbeat, but then some of them are not in meaning. I was trying to go for like more mellow songs, but then I think about it and I'm like, that doesn't really fit my personality, because it's like, I like upbeat, up-tempo stuff, but also I don't, you know, I want, you know, the album to maintain its theme of being, you know, isolated and having, you know, stuff like No More Games. On the surface, it might seem like, you know, this doesn't fit on this album, why is this here? But when you read into it and you think about it, No More Games is basically about standing up to kind of like bullies in a way. When you think about it, because it's like, No more giving up, no more losing to a scrub. And it could remind you, of how, like, bullies come at you and stuff, and you want to stand up to them. So it's kind of like a fuck you to, like, bullies. And it's my first, like, explicit song on the album, I think, that I had on there. Most of the songs aren't really explicit. I try to keep the album as less explicit as I can. Because, I do want my stuff to get played, and, sometimes my family might want to hear something, because my aunt, she's like, I can't wait to hear this, and, yeah, and, I showed her my voice, and she was very, happy with it. She was like, oh, you sound good. And then there was, like, a cover I did that sounded good, too, so, yeah. And, oh, you mean where do I, like, record the music at? Well, yeah, I go to somebody's house and I record the music there, because he has a whole studio, basically. So I record the music, like, right in his house, and, we do. No, I do. I have to pay, $750 for the album to be out, but, usually most people would have to pay, like, $3,000, though, so I did get lucky not having to spend that much, and it makes me understand, like, that's basically why a lot of artists don't have albums out like that, because it's expensive to release music, so, yeah, it's not cheap. Yeah, of course. Oh, shit. Would you, like, review it when it comes out? I don't know if you're, like, a music critic, but, like, would you, like...
Just gonna message you back and tell you to dick off. And I thought, well, why not go down there and meet him?
Yeah, I understand.
Dick off IRL. Look, whatever you want from me, whatever this big new job is, I'm out. Okay? I'm done. I already took every decent score in the state. I cleaned out.
Combination of both, but it's mostly, I mean, the lyrics are not too, like, technical. So you're most likely you'll probably dance to it, but if you listen to it, that's also good, because I mean I put, effort in what I write.
That's it. I was just like a retiree. Now I actually am one. So go ahead, so I can tell you to shove it up your honey.
Oh yeah, see, I never thought of that stuff. I don't ever think of that stuff, because see, I always think of like the music alone, but I'm not thinking of like the cover art and all that. Because you'll never release an album with no cover art, right? That would just be so trash. So, and I'm trying to think of what I released for the singles. I want to release a ballad first, so it can kind of just be like, oh, this is, my voice, if you didn't already know I was good, type of thing. Because I was thinking, I'm like, I want to have a piano ballad, but like, I'm struggling on what to write for it. There's so many things I could. I want to write a ballad named like Childhood Heroes, or Childhood Hero. And it's basically, I want it to be about, when it's basically like, how like a YouTuber, they fuck up or something and make a mistake, or it's like somebody that you looked up to disappoints you. It's like that. So I think that's something different to write. I don't really think there's like a lot of artists that would write something like that. Usually they'll just be like, my heart got broke, or, this person passed. Huh? Huh?
No offense, Miss Chang, but every job I've ever done was impossible until I did it.
Perhaps. Do you know what? They told me you were the best in the business. And it only took me 5 minutes to tell you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, maybe I'm a little stale. But I'm not coming out of retirement every time some
I'm not gonna lie.
money sink opens up.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've never really followed them.
Then maybe you do it for me.
Even when that happened.
Because I'm asking.
I mean, even when that happened, I mean, was it weird, kind of crazy to do? Yeah, but I mean, there's people that do worse stuff, so it's like that didn't bother me. But I've always found them to be kind of like, they've always did some stupid shit. But then again, I feel like the media kind of hypes them up to be that, because honestly, we all don't like them, or a lot of people don't like them, but who's really supporting them though? It's the media. They keep pushing them, even though people say they don't like them. They still keep. They still, you know, they're still here to thrive.
Wang, let's go.
Yes, why not?
So there's that. No, I'm just talking about that. I literally was talking about that a while ago. I heard her album Talk That Talk and Unapologetic. Those were the albums where she had like all the dance pop and stuff. Oh, and Loud too, but Loud was so incohesive. Oh, and I love Complicated. I love her belting on Complicated is so good. But it's like the songs are very repetitive though. And very like cuz they're kind of long. Fading is kind of repetitive too, so that's why it's like sometimes I can listen to it for her vocals, but then it's like it's so repetitive because she doesn't really add anything to it. And I mean, it's good that people make these mistakes on their albums because it gives me a chance to kind of see what can I do to make it different or better. Because nobody's going to be perfect, and I think, you know, we have to stop putting this label on artists to
Listen,
like
this is,
be the
Tony
perfect
Prince.
this or the
I'll
next
cut straight to the
Britney
chase.
Spears, next this, because it's like nobody's the next anything. And I mean, I'm cool getting compared to people every now and then, but sometimes that shit's going to hurt your career because then, you know, you're going to do something and then it's like, oh, this sounds like Usher. And then like my music is nothing like those people. I mean, it's nothing against them, but my music is nothing like those people. Do not compare me to that deep of that level. I am not God. I fuck up. I'm human. I shit like you shit. I'm not a perfect singer either. There's also that. I think I'm pretty good, but I'm not perfect. I mean, like just to give you an idea, female singers, they hit C5, which that's like right above, a little above like the highest notes I've hit. The highest I've hit was like B4. Or, I don't know if you play, cause you play instruments, so I think you know, yeah, cause you play guitar. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like females, they can hit high notes a lot easier than men. Basically, it's a little harder for me. Like I'm just straining a C5. I cannot hit a D5 or anything like that. That stuff is hard to hit because it's really high. And
Don't
I mean,
say
the highest
anything.
I've done was
I don't know you.
A4.
Or
I
maybe
gotta
I
check
do.
on the piano.
I don't
though,
remember.
what that's like. Where I found my phone? Oh, right here. Because the piano has the layout of basically how it would go. I gotta go to it. Yeah. Cause yeah, I guess it's because I don't really like tea, so I just never really thought of it. I don't really care for tea. I just don't drink it. Yeah, I always just drink water. But there was that. I think you remember, right? It was the video where I was doing my upper register. A lot of people were confused. Like some people liked it. My aunt, I could tell she didn't, cause based on the emojis she sent me. My mom didn't like it, so it was like I just was a little discouraged off of attempting stuff like that for a while. Cause I mean, when your family tells you or implies that you fucked up singing, it's like that shit hurts. Okay, that shit hurts. Because everybody tells you you're good, and then you experiment and do this thing, and then 3 people tell you it's bad. But everybody loves you though. But 3 people tell you it's bad. You kind of freak the fuck out. You're like, what is wrong here? Like, what did I do? But like, really, I'm not bad. I mean, I kind of just started, to be honest with you. I just acknowledged that I'm a recording artist literally this year. and I've said I was a singer since earlier this year. So to be fair, I mean I kind of just started, but I practiced alone in my room for like a while, and I kind of cheated on my first acapella because I used reverb, and reverb's not auto-tuned, not the same as auto-tune, but it gives the echo effect, so it kind of to an extent covers what you did wrong. If like you fucked up like a little bit on a note, but nowadays I just do this. I do the shit without the reverb. Like you hear it, it sounds good. I do it without the reverb, so I gotten a bit comfortable. So I gotten comfortable with what I do. But I mean, my range, I mean, it's not particularly that impressive. I mean, it's good, but it's not super impressive. Like a lot of people who sing can hit those notes fine. Like my best friend, who's Inquire, he's like way better than me. I'm just saying he's way better because first of all he's been singing forever, and has been able to practice since he was like a kid. So it's like, of course he's gonna be better than me, So it's like an unfair comparison. That's why it's like I don't ever want to be like compared to like Mariah or nothing right now. I don't want to be compared to them at all because I'm like, the thing is, they're vocal goddesses. And, I mean, they've been able to practice the shit, like, years and years and years. Like, Mariah is 50 damn years old. She has been able to fucking practice the shit every day. Like, she practices high, whistle notes in her sleep. I mean, the girl she just does it all. I'm not trying to gloat. I'm not, some big Mariah stan. I don't even listen to her music like that. But, like, the girl is able to sing very effectively and, hold notes for, like, a long time. Sustaining notes for like a long time, so this stuff is hard to do. It's funny because it's like I don't see it, but I kind of get it because they both have that like such huge range. Victoria Justice? But yeah, she released a couple. Oh, you mean Cat Valentine? Yeah, Ariana Grande. Yeah. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like when you sit and think about it, she went from that girl that was like a secondary character to like one of the biggest streamed female like singers on Spotify. Like she streamed like her streams are very high. She earned streams just like that. Literally, almost all her songs, like, even if it's, like, just droplets, they have, like, over 100 million views. Like, a lot of them do. Like, Ariana can go platinum just like that. She doesn't have to work that hard. Like, she's not going nowhere. Like, she's basically, like, the label, like, everybody knows her name, the labels love her. She's not dying no time soon. I follow her. She's released a couple songs. She released a couple of songs because she's an independent artist now. Yeah, I've heard about that. Oh, saw a helicopter come down. Oh, I heard about all of Dan Snyder's mess. Have you heard of it too? Yeah. It's like a lot. It's so embarrassing to explain it because it's like it's not even me, but it's just the amount of crazy shit that goes on with it. It's like what the fuck. So basically, it's a lot of stuff he did. So he had the actors do a lot of like creepy things on camera. Like he would have them like in weird positions, like suggestive positions and stuff like that, and would have them like expose, like he would have them expose their feet on camera, and constantly, and it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a sexual undertone to it that people see with it. So that's why it's so inappropriate. So yeah, it's like it's a lot. He did stuff like that, and people called him out on it, and he ended up getting dropped from Nickelodeon. And he made actors uncomfortable too. The fuck? Why am I getting kicked out the room? Oh, I I lost my internet connection apparently. Oh, I thought it like kicked. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, yeah. I was so like breaking out. Yeah, because these games be playing tricks on me, especially Tekken. Like Tekken, oh my god. Even a little bit of something happens and I get sent out to the menu, oh my god, it's the worst thing. But yeah, long story short, he was very creepy. So, he got removed. There wasn't any actual proof of him doing stuff that was like straight illegal. However, like there wasn't like illegal stuff. However, though, it was a thing where it was like, what the hell? It's not letting me.
Looking good, honey.
Yeah, I might have to restart because for some reason it's like doing that. I'm gonna have to restart it. Yeah, oh, not restart. Well, restart the stream. It'll probably still stay on regardless, but I have to. I don't know if it'll still stay on. I have to test the internet connection because it's like acting funny.